Sharing's caring, as they say, isn't it? So, how can we share stuff in Power BI? I'd like to overshare or undershare or just share a little bit. Alright, so apps and sharing, okay? It's all about workspaces. There's no way around it. You're going to have to deal with understanding what a workspace is, how we all tie it together, yeah? And if you remember, we talked about connected workspaces already, didn't we? So here's the demo area that we've been working on the last few weeks, and you can see there are bits underlined there or bits highlighted with with blue, right? Now that means it's an external workspace. It's not part of this single workspace. So the idea that we're getting to is a workspace isn't an island. It's connected to other things, right? In this case, we've got data flows coming in and we've got workspace data sets coming in from a different workspace. So what's all that mean for us when we start to get further? What I'd say, and this is kind of where my mind is, where I've ended up after doing this for a number of years, is that you can now get to the point of having data flow workspaces, data model workspaces, and app workspaces. So Power BI will support that, and it works very effectively. So if all your data flows come in to one or more or a number of workspaces for data flows, you can start to process that and you can catalog that and work out how you're going to divide those up. Is it departmental? Is it regional? Is it something else? And that's going to depend on your business and the needs that you have. Okay, but that's going to be one layer of data that you've got. Right? The data is also then going to flow on to your data model layer, this conceptual data warehouse idea. So this is where you can start to be building up your models. And if you remember, your data model has everything in it. It's got not just the data, but the measures and the DAX statements that are going to help make this a standardized environment. So having that conceptual data warehouse idea really ticks a lot of boxes, because I could just say, I need a finance report. Go pick up the finance report as a starter, build a report from there. So that's kind of the way that I see things going. I can decide I'm going to create a new data model. It's mine, but people would know, Ross is waving around some figures, but they're not from an official data model. So we'll take it with a pinch of salt. And then lastly, we've got the app workspaces, which is really the end user access layer. This is now where our end consumers will access the data. It's a read-only area. We're not planning for people to be going in and fiddling with data there. There shouldn't be data there, because those are just going to be reports that are connected to the models that are in the model workspaces. Rather than it being a case of there's lots of data everywhere, it becomes a case of there's clear lines of lineage for data. So the app workspaces, what's the benefit? The biggest benefit is they're read-only. It's like content, it's easy. Using apps as well, it's good cross-platform. I can use my mobile phone, I can use my PC, I can use my Mac, I can see it. And the licensing, where unfortunately it is still required, but that's where you're not losing out, are you? If you're going to have a license to access Power BI workspaces, you're going to have the same license, although with premium and embedded, you can have a free license. So whatever you've got, it's going to work with your apps. That's the key bit. Where it gets really nice is when you start to combine and use the access list management side of teams. So if you share apps with teams, someone's in the team, they have access to the app, provided they have a Power BI license, of course. You can also use role-based access on it as well. So even within the team, you could be doing stuff within a team, within teams. There's all sorts you can do. The thing here is around understanding what is our goal. And what the goal is for any of these things is not to have your analysts having to waste time and manage who's got access to this report or to the content of the report. By sharing it with a team, that team, which will already manage who's in the team, because, I've got my senior management team, I'm not going to add Steve from the factory floor into the senior management team. Although we all love Steve, he's a great guy, top lad, not going to go in the factory, not going to go senior managers group, right? But, you can kind of get the picture. By doing it that way, the senior managers list, which is managed by somebody already, senior management need access to this, let's add the team to it. Senior management, add the team to it, okay? It's a much more efficient, much more effective way of dealing with things. There's a whistle-stop tour around what I'm looking at, where my mind's at as far as I am with Power BI, the app side, and Workspaces. What do you reckon? Does it make sense? I mean, I think it does. It's all about defining and using Power BI appropriately and effectively. Now, the nice thing about this model I've laid out here is you don't have to use it. Just stuff him, right? He doesn't know what he's talking about. Yeah, right? You've seen, I can do it in a single workspace. It's not a case of, I'm not great, right? It's a case of, it'll work. As you start to expand, though, or as I would start to expand this out into a full production-ready solution, I'll rapidly come into issues. My experience, and I've been doing this for, with Power BI, pretty much since Power BI came out, is this is what works. Having the idea that we can put the data models in one place and put the main curated data area somewhere else is brilliant as well, because it stops everyone going back and looking at that Excel spreadsheet, that Access database. Still them around, honestly. The amount of Access databases that come out of the woodwork, it's just, right? And obviously SharePoint. SharePoint Online now, it's not going anywhere. My prediction really is that with the rise of the Power Platform, Power Apps is going from strength to strength. Fundamentally, a lot of that is storing stuff in SharePoint lists. We've got Microsoft just bought out lists again, trying to relaunch SharePoint lists. I don't think we're going to get rid of SharePoint lists anytime soon. So I'm suspecting we're going to have a lot of SQL databases if we're in the Azure state, or databases of some description, and a lot more SharePoint. And of course, Excel. You can't get rid of Excel. Much as we love it, much as we hate it, much as we've all gone like, Excel, right? Excel is Excel. It's great. Love it. So have a think. And the main thing with this is sit down, work out what works for you. You can actually get to this very good structured environment that supports unstructured as well, or not unstructured, but less controlled content. So anyway, I'm going on. I could go on for another day about this stuff. It's amazing this. When you start doing it and you start getting into it, it's great. But the main thing here is have a think. Right? There's no right answers, there's no wrong answers, but you need to be sure about what it is you're going to do. So don't forget, like and subscribe down below. Head on out to our website. We've got the members area. We'll do some more talking about this thing in the members piece, go through some examples, stuff you can do, stuff in my experience hasn't worked, has worked. And it's always my experience. If you've got experience to share, please share it. Comments are down below. Or you can email us, reach out, if in doubt, reach out and all that. But back on Friday. So for now, take care of yourselves. Ta-da.